Okay, so this is Nutrition and Diet, Chapter 11 for the DHO book. We are going to be talking about the fundamentals of nutrition and the essential nutrients. Section 11.1 and Section 11.2. So nutrition is an important relationship between food and good health. Many do not know which nutrients are needed or why they are necessary. So again, I think this is why there are so many health issues in the U.S. With obesity being one, and also obesity, but high blood pressure, diabetes, and there's cancer. So many different reasons as to why we have so many healthcare issues. Many people are not able to select proper foods in their daily diets in order to promote optimum health. This is where healthcare workers come in to play, where they can teach their patients as to what foods they should be eating or not eating. Also, how nutritionists and dietitians come into play. It's important for healthcare workers to understand basic nutrition so they can not only help their patients, but also lead a healthy lifestyle for themselves. So healthcare workers can also practice and promote good nutrition. Nutrition includes all body processes relating to food, includes digestion, absorption, metabolism, circulation, and elimination. Its processes allow the body to use food for energy, maintenance of health, and growth. You should be eating foods that will allow you to grow, to be healthy, to provide you with energy. Nutritional status refers to the state or condition of one's nutrition. The goal is to be, of course, in a state of good nutrition and to maintain wellness. Wellness is a state of good health with optimal body function. It's important to choose foods that are needed by the body, not just foods that taste good. It's also in how you cook your foods and how you prepare your foods. Many people say they don't like vegetables, but if they're prepared properly and in a pleasing way, they can be very good. Also, why restaurants put so much time into preparing their plate of food to make sure it's appealing to whoever is going to eat it. So it's also, you want to prepare foods in such a way that it's appealing and that you want to eat it. So I made a dessert once for Mother's Day. It was a dessert, so it wasn't the healthiest thing. But it was a lemon frozen dessert made with lemonade and cream cheese and all mixed together and then frozen. And my sister's father-in-law told us, this would be a lot more appealing if you put some yellow food coloring in it to make it more yellow. So again, that's not a healthy example, but it shows you how food, you want to make food that is appealing in order to want you to eat it. Nutrition plays a large role in determining height. So with height, you're only going to get as tall as your genetics, but if you are having a poor nutrition, you may not grow as tall as what you could be. Your weight, of course, your strength, skeletal development, so you want to make sure you have good, strong bones, resistance to disease. The healthier you are, the more you're able to resist those diseases. Muscular development, physical agility, appetite, posture, your complexion. Maybe if you eat oily or greasy foods, you may develop more acne. Your mental ability, there's going to be foods that kind of help you to concentrate better or to pay attention more and not to give you more energy. Your emotional health, some people said yesterday that when they don't eat healthy, they don't feel as good about themselves, or others may not feel as good about themselves. So when that happens, sometimes people eat more because when they're stressed or upset, they tend to eat, which is not a good thing to do either. And so they keep going in that downward spiral. And also psychological health, which is kind of goes along with what I just said. Again, some people eat when they're stressed, or sometimes they don't eat. So therefore, they're not getting the nutrients that they need. Sometimes if they're sad or depressed, they eat. And then that can make them more sad or depressed because they're not happy with the choices that they made or what they ate. Good nutrition results in a healthy appearance, well-developed bodies, a good attitude, proper sleep, good bowel habits, and a high energy level, enthusiasm, and freedom from anxiety. So, of course, some people, if they have anxiety, food is not going to take care of it. You know, if they only eat healthy foods, they may still continue to have anxiety and may need medication for that. Fundamentals of nutrition. Good nutrition accumulates throughout life and may prevent or delay diseases or conditions such as the following. And this kind of goes back with some of the foods that we talked about yesterday, of how it says it prevents cancer, prevents diabetes, or high blood pressure. So one of the things that can prevent or delay is hypertension, which we've talked about. This is high blood pressure. It can be caused by excess amount of fat or salt in your diet. It can also lead to kidney disease. It can lead to diseases of the heart, blood vessels, and kidneys. So nearly half of adults in the U.S. have hypertension. So that's quite a bit. And so how many of those with those adults who have hypertension will go on to have heart and blood vessel or kidney diseases? So again, it increases the cost of healthcare with so many adults having hypertension. So atherosclerosis is the arteries are narrowed by the accumulation of fatty substance on their inner surfaces. They're thought to be caused by a diet high in saturated fats and cholesterol and can lead to a heart attack or stroke. So as you can see, if this is your artery here, it's getting closed off so the blood has a smaller area to flow through. So the last chapter we talked about arterial sclerosis, and this is talking about atherosclerosis. So what is the difference? So arteriosclerosis is the broader term for the condition in which the arteries narrow and harden, leading to poor circulation of the blood throughout the body. And the atherosclerosis is a specific kind of arteriosclerosis. But sometimes people use them, they interchange them. So that's the difference between the arteriosclerosis is a broader term, and then atherosclerosis is a specific condition underneath the arteriosclerosis. So osteoporosis is when bones become porous, full of tiny openings, and they break easily. One cause is long-term deficiencies of calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. And also why, when you get milk, many times vitamin D is added to it. And I mentioned some of you yesterday that when my daughter goes to the doctor, one of the main questions the doctor asks is how much milk is she getting in order to know if she's getting enough calcium. So who is more likely to get osteoporosis? Is it men or women? So women are more likely to get osteoporosis than men, and there are several different reasons why. One reason is that women tend to have smaller and thinner bones than men, and then also because of estrogen, which is a hormone in women that protects the bones, and it decreases sharply when women reach menopause, which can cause bone loss. So usually you get women have osteoporosis after they have gone through menopause. So those who have osteoporosis, they tend to break bones easily, and so maybe it's their hip bone. They may get up and walk, and they fall, and they break their bone. So many times the question is, did they break their bone and then fall, or did they fall and break their bone? I had mentioned to you a while ago when I had the older lady who fell in my yard, and she broke 2 bones from her fall. I'm curious to know if she has osteoporosis for her to break bones like that. So I don't know, maybe not. So that's why it's important to get your calcium in. Of course, it's not just through milk, but it's dairy products. So cheeses, cottage cheese, products like that. So diabetes is a metabolic disease. There's insufficient secretion or utilization of insulin, leading to an increased level of glucose sugar in the blood. It may be caused by heredity, obesity, lack of exercise, diet high in carbs and sugars can contribute towards individuals developing this disease. So there's 1 in 10 adults in the U.S. who have diabetes. There's also 1 in 3 adults have prediabetes. So prediabetes means that they're close to being diabetic, but they're not quite there yet. So if you have prediabetes, you can certainly change your lifestyle, and hopefully you wouldn't develop diabetes. So again, obesity, we know Americans are obese, a lot of them, so that can lead to a lack of exercise. Many Americans don't get enough exercise in. Diets high in carbs, which can be your breads, your pastas, and then sugars all. So once you have diabetes, you have to check your blood sugar on a regular basis, and then you may or may not have to take insulin. Malnutrition is the state of poor nutrition. It may be caused by poor diet or illness. Symptoms can include fatigue, depression, poor posture, irritability, being overweight or underweight. So even if you're overweight, it is still a form of malnutrition. Poor complexion, so you could develop acne. And lifeless, dull hair is also a symptom of malnutrition. It can cause deficiency diseases, poor muscular and skeletal development, reduced mental ability, so you're not going to be as alert or may not be able to concentrate. It can lead to death if it's bad enough. Obesity is also a form of malnutrition. It's caused by an excess food consumption. So malnutrition, most of the time when people think of malnutrition, they think of third world countries where the people are very skinny and you can see their ribs. But obesity is also another form of malnutrition. Essential nutrients are composed of chemical elements found in food. So this is section 11.2. They are used by the body to perform many different body functions. And as the body uses the elements, they are replaced by elements in the food that a person eats. So there's 6 groups of essential nutrients, and we're going to talk about each one of these individually. There's carbohydrates, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, and water. So these are all nutrients that you need on a daily basis. So carbohydrates. Americans love carbs. Pasta, breads, beans, crackers. Carbs are a major source of readily usable human energy, commonly called starches or sugars. It's a cheaper source of energy than proteins and fats because they're mainly produced by plants. They're easily digested and they grow well in most climates and keep well without refrigeration. Main sources again are bread, cereals, noodles or pastas, crackers, potatoes, corn, peas, beans, grains, fruit, sugar, and syrups. All sources of carbohydrates. Cellulose is a fibrous, indigestible form of plant carbohydrate, and it provides bulk in the digestive tract and causes regular bowel movement. Best sources are whole grain cereals, fibrous fruits, and vegetables. And so these are going to be in those whole grains, breads, those darker brown breads, not in white bread. So there's been a trend with low-carb diets, and some of the common low-carb diets that people use or try are the ketogenic diet, low-carb high-fat diet, paleo diets, Atkins diet, and the Mediterranean diets are all diets I've heard and seen on Facebook of people trying. So what's the benefit of a low-carb diet? One benefit for people who are trying to lose weight is it tends to cause more weight loss than low-fat diets. And that weight loss is at least usually short-term, at least. So is it long-term weight loss? Probably going to depend on whether the person maintains the lifestyle or carbohydrate of a low carb diet. So many people may go on different diets to lose weight, and then maybe life happens or stress happens, and they no longer are able to maintain that lifestyle, and then many times they gain that weight back, and sometimes even more weight. Um, so with any I don't like to use the word diet. I think when you're trying to be more healthy, it is finding a lifestyle that works for you and eating a wide variety of foods that are healthy for you. But low carb diets can also improve health markers such as your blood sugar levels or your blood pressure, and then also other health markers like that too. So lots of different types of low carb diets that people have tried. So lipids, which are fat, they're commonly called fats and oils, and they are an organic compound. The three most common lipids found in food and the human body are the triglycerides, phospholipids, and sterols. They provide the most concentrated form of energy but are more expensive than carbs. Fats help to maintain the body temperature by providing insulin. They cushion organs and bones, and they aid in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins and provide flavor to meals. Butter, margarine, oils, cream, fatty meats, cheeses, and egg yolks all contain lipids. So what is the difference between margarine and butter? Do you use butter at your house or do you use margarine at your house? So margarine is a highly processed food product made from vegetable oils, while butter is basically concentrated dairy fat. Butter is a dairy product made by churning cream. So why do some people use butter and some people use margarine? I personally use butter at my house, but some people may use the margarine because they feel like it's healthier because it's made with the vegetable oil rather than concentrated dairy fat. So people use it for different uses. I make I haven't made it for a while actually, but I used to make a Christmas dessert, kind of like Thin Mint bars. It has a lot of butter in it, but it actually called for two sticks of butter and 2 sticks of margarine. So why it calls for the two different, I don't know. I've never tried it any other way. I've always followed the recipe for it. Uh, so not something. In fact, I haven't made it for a while, and I would only make it once during Christmas time. So there's a difference between butter and margarine. Lipids are also classified as saturated fat and polyunsaturated fats. So the saturated fats are usually solid at room temperature. They're found in animal-based foods, meats, eggs, whole milk, cream, butter, and cheese. While the polyunsaturated fats are usually soft or oily at room temperature, they are found in plant-based foods, vegetable oils, margarines, products made from vegetable oils, fish, and peanuts. Omega-3 fatty acid is a type of polyunsaturated fat, and it seems to decrease the risk of coronary artery disease. So has anybody heard of people taking omega-3 fish oil pills? So the omega-3 fish oil pills, they have found many benefits to them. They lower your blood pressure. It slows the development of plaque in your arteries. It can reduce the chance of abnormal heart rhythm. It reduces the likelihood of heart attack and stroke. And it lessens the chance of sudden cardiac death in people with heart disease. So many people who are concerned about their heart, they take omega-3 fish oil pills for many different health reasons. And they do, like sometimes people burp after them, and it is like a fishy smell when they do. For some of them, not all of the pills. Depends on what brand you get. So you find omega-3 fatty acids in salmon, tuna, trout, mackerel, sardines, and herring. Cholesterol. It's a sterile lipid found in the body cells and animal products. It's used in the production of steroid hormones, vitamin D, and bile acids. It's found in egg yolks, fatty meats, shellfish, butter, cream cheeses, whole milk, and organ meats. It's transported in the bloodstream by two carrier molecules called lipoproteins, and they are called HDL, high density, which are commonly called good cholesterol. And it transports cholesterol back to the liver and prevents plaque from accumulating on the walls of arteries. So that's a good thing, again, why it's called good cholesterol. And then there's the LDL, which is low density, and it's often called the bad cholesterol because it contributes to plaque buildup, which of course you do not want to have. An excess amount leads to atherosclerosis. So it's going to be found in those fatty meats. Like this meat here, you can see there's a lot of fat in it. The egg yolks and the cheeses. When adults get their blood work done, they get their numbers for cholesterol, and it will give your numbers for your HDL cholesterol and your LDL cholesterol. What you eat, maybe the day before, can affect those numbers. So let's say you have eggs the day before, it can affect your numbers for your cholesterol. So cholesterol is something that adults are certainly can be concerned of, and it could be an issue in children who are overweight if they have a poor diet also. So proteins are the basic components of all body cells. They are essential for building and repairing tissue, regulating body functions, producing antibodies that help prevent infection and disease, and they provide energy and heat. Proteins are made up of 22 building blocks called amino acids. 9 of them are essential to life. So a complete protein contains all 9 essential amino acids, and the best sources are animal foods. So incomplete protein, they contain some of the 9 essential amino acids, and the best sources are plant foods. So those who are vegetarians, they need to make sure they eat a wide variety of vegetables and fruit that will contain all 9 essential amino acids, because your different plants or vegetables or fruit will contain some of the 9 essential amino acids, so they need to make sure that they eat a wide variety so that they get all 9 through their foods that they eat. Vitamins are an organic compound that are essential to life. They're important for your metabolism, tissue building, and regulation of body processes. They allow the body to use the energy provided by carbs, fats, and proteins. A well-balanced diet usually provides the required vitamins. Sometimes the doctor tells people to take extra vitamins because one, they may not be getting it into their diet, or there's a deficiency for whatever reason. Sometimes people take, like vitamin C is one people take to help prevent colds. Vitamin D, others take. I've heard that is good for your immune system to help ward off the flu, especially in the winter when you're not getting as much vitamin D from not being out in the sun. So some vitamins are antioxidants, and that means they are an organic molecule that helps protect the body from harmful chemicals called free radicals. So some of the foods we talked about yesterday, we had said that they were antioxidants. So free radicals can damage tissues and cells and even your genes. They can lead to chronic diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and arthritis. Antioxidants are found mainly in fruits and vegetables. They deactivate the free radicals and prevent them from damaging the body cells. So again, this is why if you have an autoimmune disease or if you have cancer, then fruits and vegetables are so important to eat because they help to deactivate those free radicals. And if you get too many free radicals, that's when cancer may form. So again, why your fruits and vegetables are so important to get in. Vitamin A, C, and E are antioxidants. There's water-soluble vitamins, and they dissolve in water. They are normally stored in the body, and they are easily destroyed by cooking, air, and light. There's also fat-soluble vitamins. They dissolve in fat. They can be stored in the body, and they are not easily destroyed by cooking, air, and light. There's also minerals, which are inorganic, which means they are non-living elements found in all body tissues. They regulate body fluids, assist in various body functions, contribute to growth, and aid in building tissues. Some minerals, such as selenium, zinc, copper, and manganese, are antioxidants also. Water is the last one. They are found in all body tissues. Water is found in all body tissues. It is essential for digestion of food, makes up most of the blood plasma and the cytoplasma of cells. It helps body tissues absorb nutrients and helps move waste through the body. Many patients, when they take pain medication, it causes constipation, and then they're not up walking around as much. So again, that can help to lead to the constipation also. So many times patients are told to eat high fiber foods for one, and to drink more water, and then to get up and move to help move that waste through the body. So water is important for many reasons. Daily intake includes water that is found in all foods and beverages. High external temps and a great amount of exercise or physical activity increases the need for water. And you should drink 6 to 8 glasses of water each day. And again, that can include foods that are high in water. So I've heard some of you saying, I tell my daughter also, if you have a headache, go drink some water. If this is wrong, go drink some water. So it is important to get your water in. Now, if somebody goes from, I've talked to many patients about increasing their water intake for many different reasons. And if a patient, let's say, you are only drinking 2 glasses of water a day, and for whatever reason you want to increase your water intake, you should not definitely move from drinking 2 glasses of water a day up to 6 or 8 glasses of water a day the very next day. Because if you do, you might as well just hang out in the bathroom all day. So if you do increase your water intake very slowly, you barely notice it. So that is some advice I would give is if you do increase your water intake, you do want to increase it slowly. I've also heard some people say that if you drink coffee, you need to drink an extra glass of water to counteract that cup of coffee that you drink. So what are some foods that have a lot of water in them? So of course, watermelon is one. But also other melons, such as honeydew and cantaloupe. Strawberries are another one that contain quite a bit of water. Pineapple, peaches, oranges, bell peppers, broccoli, and celery. So if you're not a big water drinker, you can eat some of those foods to help increase your water intake. Another way, if you don't like the taste of water, is you could add just a little bit of juice to your water. So let's say maybe cranberry juice. Add just a little bit of water, cranberry juice to it to give it enough flavor. You can also drink fruit-infused water and get a pitcher of water and put strawberries, watermelon in it. You can put peppermint in it. You can even do some cucumbers in it, lemons, limes. Let it sit overnight in your fridge, and then you have the fruit-infused water. So it's healthy and you're not adding anything extra to it. And then, of course, they have the different flavorings that you can put in your water also. You just have to be aware of what's in those flavorings to make sure that it's still healthy for you. So that's it for today for section 11.1 and 11.2.